If there's anybody that wanted to speak at the public session, you need to get signed up on the sign-in sheet before we get too far along here. The first item of business is the adoption of tonight's proposed agenda, and we do have a quite a lengthy agenda, and I've got several proclamations which I am not going to read because of time, and but I will be signing them, and we'll talk about them a little bit. Does anybody want to make a motion to adopt the agendas presented? Okay, no changes. All in favor? Okay, and yeah, Mr. Mashburn is out tonight, and I'll need a motion to excuse him. Okay, all in favor? And now the approval of the March the 2nd, 2015 board minutes.
I'll make a motion to be approved.
Second.
All in favor? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the first item on the agenda tonight is a public hearing. It's supposed to be at 7:05, so we're a little bit ahead here. This is for the rezoning petition for 3 parcels of land on Siler Road. Let's see here. Is anybody signed up to speak on that? Yes. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Okay. There's two sign-up sheets. Norrell, are you speaking on the public hearing for the 3 parcels of land?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're first on the list.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Honorable Aldermen. I will come right to the point and view of the need for speed. There is a very flat area on the right-hand side. That would be the western side of Siler Road. I urge you to go out, look at it, and realize that a restaurant located there with large view windows would be one of the most attractive facilities the town could boast. The view is magnificent, and it's far enough from 441 not to be overly noisy. So that should be something that should be saved for the future. The other aspects of my address are regarding safety on the road. And I know this is oriented around the zoning, but I'd like you to be very aware that if you are exiting Siler Road onto 441, as you know, you can go straight across to the shopping center or take a left, and there is a dedicated right-hand turn lane. I have talked to the people at the state about the fact that on
Norrell, if we're getting away from what the purpose of the public hearing is,
it's so relevant to your rezoning that road, though,
okay,
as I said, for safety, and I will be very succinct.
Okay.
There is a large portion that is just mud now, and I've urged the state to pave that because the backup on the right-hand turn lane is always huge. As the people wanting to go straight restrict the ability to go right, and if they widen that, that would ease that burden. At the opposite end, when you were going into the SCC campus, there is a driveway to what used to be a house, but it's now gone. And I spoke to the county commissioners about 6 months ago, so they've probably forgotten at this point. But if we had the ingress via that driveway and just had the egress on the current 2-way road, that would help safety a lot. When you go, I'm sure all of you have been to the library at some point, and if you're a little excited and go around that right-hand turn too fast, there's a major chance that you could tip over. It's just not very well graded there. The last point, this map is much too small for you all to see, but right here, and you all have been on Siler Road, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. There's a very sharp curve. It's about 80 degrees, and for a long time there was a trench because a truck had gone through, and now somebody has put a lot of dirt and rocks in piles, but they haven't evened that out. I'd like you to consider, if you do get the rezoning done successfully, petition the state to straighten that curve, not make it as sharp.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Stinger, Larry Stinger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Honorable Aldermen and our town manager. My name is Larry Stanger, and my company owns 2 parcels of land on Siler Road right next to the entrance, or very near the entrance of the college. In fact, my property line actually butts up to the property line of the college. And we've been there about 7 or 8 years now, and ever since the DOT has widened the road, the amount of traffic has greatly increased. To the point where it's somewhat dangerous for the students. You'll see, I'll see a lot of students walking on Siler Road at different times of the day, and there's no sidewalks, there's no bike lane. They just walk along, and you know, some of them are handicapped. I saw one today, which kind of concerned me. They was doing what they do, you know, with the cell phone and texting and walking along the edge of the road. Kind of made me nervous. I had a couple of comments. You know, the 35-mile speed limit out there, you have no control over that, but that's never observed. You see people going around that curve doing 45, even 50. That's another concern. There's something else that the town needs to consider when they look at what Siler Road could be. And, you know, if you drive down Siler Road, you'll see a beautiful college, you'll see a beautiful early college, and you'll see a beautiful library. There's also a community garden at the backside on the Greenway. And one of the gems that Franklin owns, or doesn't own, but has in his possession, is the Greenway. Not many folks know that you can go down to the library, park your car, walk down to the Greenway, and go all the way back into town, and have an enjoyable walk along the Patuxent Creek, the Little Tennessee, the Colasasia River, and Lake Emery. Now you tell me how many towns in North Carolina have that benefit. Very few. It's a beautiful place for people to go. It's a beautiful place to ride a bike. It's a beautiful place. In fact, one of the sales pitches that I have for tenants for my professional building there is that, you know, if you have a bike, you could drive back into town by just going back along my property up onto the college and then around down to the Greenway, and you could pull up right here. So that's a gem. We don't advertise it enough. We don't talk about it. Tourism is one of the things that we're really looking for to help our economy. So I think that when you develop and do the rezoning, that I know it's going to be special use, and I like that because that means that you have a chance to talk with the developer and ask them to put sidewalks in. You have a chance to talk to the DOT if you do a traffic impact study, and you can ask the DOT, you know, how about a traffic impact study based on these projections of development? Mr. Van Wood owns most of the property back there, so it'd be great to have him sit down and share his vision of what he thinks should be going on. Most of that land back there is undeveloped. It's a chance to really control signage, to control the landscaping, to make it look like an attractive place for tourists, for our citizens, and our children to enjoy. So I'm all for the change in the zoning, keeping in mind those issues. Now, one other thing I just thought of is, I don't think there's a sewer line that runs down Siler Road except for the 4-inch line that was going to the college. If development's going to take place on Siler Road, I think you need to look into the right size sewer line, because a 4-inch line would never handle the development that could happen on Siler Road. Thanks very much.
The next person that signed up was David Stiles. David?
Good evening, Mayor and Aldermen. Appreciate you guys having this meeting. As you know, I've been on that road since 1993 myself. In the last few years, I have moved up into Tennessee. I requested just about potentially moving about 6 years ago, and being moved to commercial, special use then. I think it's the way that particular area was going to go. One thing I think we ought to be considering as we go, even though it's going to affect all of us, is we know this road's going to have a higher impact in time on it. I think we ought to look at possibly as the developers, even including my 10 acres there, that we plan on us meeting of widening the road in the development. not just let them develop to that road, go ahead and do some pre-plan. That affects every one of us, it takes some land short term, but in long term it benefits the community by not having to go back and redo something. I think it'll be, that area kind of calls for commercial and high density use. One concern I do have is, is water erosions in the area, because all that is not flat land. I've been a builder here for 28 years. I'm no longer, I moved into Tennessee, but I still have the land there. So stormwater effects can be tremendous in there because it's not a flat terrain. The one particular thing I'm thinking about, like Mr. Dill's driveway, is trapped in between the two different tracks, and that's the only egress that he has there. So in our planning, we need to really think about how to protect what's there also. Because if the development's going to happen, I think it is something that will be needed to benefit our community. Even though this will be my last track here. I'm not sure, but I think you've got water and sewer over on Sunday Drive also. I know there's water there. But I'm not positive there's sewer line back there. But it's also, that's a potential too of tying through on part of it. Is that I know there was a comment about a 4-inch line. There is a water line that ruptured one time 10, 12 years ago back there. I do not know if the sewer comes on it. In an old map, there's also a drive where Sunday Drive was going to plan to come up to Siler Road. That's something I think because of the density, it wouldn't hurt to have another access there. It showed it run right down the edge of my boundary there. Years ago, an old map, it still shows that as a city road, but it never was complete. It's something, that would benefit the area, which I think we're bottlenecking in there with the community. So I am for this, and I thank you very much, Dr.
Good to see you. Okay, that's all that is signed up for the public hearing. Mr. Setzer, did you have something to add?
No, I'll do it during the
Okay.
city.
All right. No one else here to speak for it. I'll consider a motion to close the public hearing. I didn't think I did something wrong. All in favor? Okay, yeah. Kenny? All right, the next item of business is the board's action on the rezoning petition for the 3 parcels on Siler Road. Do I hear a motion to rezone the 3 parcels from residential R1 and medical institutional, cultural and residential, MICR, to commercial to SU? Make that motion? Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor? Okay, Counselor, was that what we